So let's just move on further towards some of the problems that are all related with the decimal expressions and the real numbers. As first of all, the question number 1 says show that 0.3333 and so goes on is nothing but a rational number. Express it in the form of P by Q, where P and Q are any integers and Q cannot be is equal to 0. So the first question says that we have to show that 0.333 and so goes on is nothing but a rational number, and we have to express it in the form of P by Q. So let's just start the solution set of this particular question. As first of all, we know that the question which is of the type in which we have the number 0.33333, we can represent it with a bar. So 0.3333 and so goes on is nothing but can be represented as 0.3 bar. So this is, let us suppose, 0.3 bar. So let's just start the solution as let us suppose the number x is 0.3 bar. Let us suppose whenever we have just this kind of a question in which we have to represent any particular number as a rational number. So the first step would be like, suppose that number has to be any particular variable. So let x is equal to 0.3 bar. So let us suppose I'm calling this as an equation number 1. Now the next step would be like, just count the number of the decimals after the point. Count the number of the decimal places after the point. So after the point, we know that the decimal places are nothing but only 1. So multiply it with 10. Multiply it with 10. Always remember this fact. Always in the first equation, let us suppose I'm calling about the number x is equal to 0.3 bar. First of all, you have to check how many decimal places are in this particular number. So we know that there is only one number, that is 3 after the decimal point. So multiply it with 10. Let us suppose we are talking about the two numbers which are like 0.37 bar. So the bar will be on 37. So we have to multiply that particular number with 100. So always count how many decimal places are there. So after counting it, multiply it either with 10, either with 100, and let it so goes on. So let us suppose I'm just talking about this particular number. So this is x is equal to 0.3 bar. So there is only one such number which is repeating over here. So I am multiplying this particular number by 10. So we will say multiply equation number 1 by 10 on both sides. So we are multiplying 10 on both sides of the equation. So it will be like x into 10. It will be like x into 10, which is equal to 0.3 bar into 10. So let's just solve it. It is 10x, which is equal to 0.3 bar means 0.3333, so goes on into 10. So after multiplying it with 10, it will be like 3.3333, because we know that how we can multiply a decimal expansion with a number 10. When we will solve it, we will get the answer as 3.3333 and so goes on. We can also write it as 10x is equal to 3.3 bar, or let us suppose I'm taking it as 3.333 only, and I'm calling it as equation number 2. Okay, now we just wanted to express the number in the form of P by Q. So the next step would be like subtract 2 and 1. So we are actually subtracting 2 with 1 as 2 minus 1. We just have to subtract the second equation with the first equation as 10x is equal to 3.3333 and so goes on. This is our second equation, and the first equation was like x is equal to 0.3 bar. We can write 0.3 bar as 0.3333 and so goes on. So this is 0.333 and so goes on. So if we are subtracting these two terms, the value will be 10x minus 1x. It is nothing but 9x, which is equal to 3.000 and so goes on. So it means that from this particular equation, let us suppose I'm calling it as equation number 3rd. So from equation number 3rd, what we are getting that 9x is nothing but is equal to 3. It means that if we'll divide 9 on both sides of this particular equation, we will get the answer as 9 and 9 get multiplied, x is equal to 3 by 9. So 3 ones are 3 3, 3 is a 9, so it is nothing but 1 by 3. So it means that from equation number 1, we can say that if x is equal to 0.3, then it is also is equal to 1 by 3 from equation number 4. So it means that the representation of 0.33333 is nothing but 1 by 3, which is our desired result. So the representation of the number 0.33333 is nothing but 1 by 3, and obviously 1 by 3 is nothing but a rational number because of the reason that it is actually a terminating number with a repeating terms, because this number is nothing but a terminating and a repeating one. If the number is terminating and repeating, so such kind of numbers are nothing but called as the rational numbers. They are nothing but called as the rational numbers, because we have already discussed about it. Whenever the remainder is nothing but is equal to 0 and it is repeating, so such kind of numbers are nothing but called as the rational numbers. So as from this particular representation, we know that this number can be represented in the form of 1 by 3, and this number or this decimal expression is actually a terminating one but a repeating one, because there are repeating string of numbers over here. So such kind of a number is nothing but called as a rational number. So this is all about the question number 1. I hope the whole answer is all clear to you.